So what is it going to be this game?
They just stick with the CM Clockwork combo.
Yep.
This leaves a little bit of ambiguity still in the draft. You don't know where the Clockwork's still going. Could be offlane. More than likely, it's going to be Absol playing it, but...
Yeah, but they did not pick up the Treant, even though it was available.
Well, yep. This is leaves a little bit of ambiguity still in the draft. You don't know where the Clockwork's... Yeah. Maybe versus like the Night Stalker, they feel like it's like laning kind of like vision kind of game could play into a factor, but it is a bit bizarre to see it not grabbed up.
I mean, that's true. Night Stalker does make it really difficult for Treant to be played. Quite annoying. So they just go back for the CM. I mean, just like a very standard pick. Good for the lanes, you know. With the Clockwork, you can form a very good support duo, CM Clockwork.
Yeah. I actually like the Clockwork support. I like it, but I think it's like super enabled by the Arcane Aura.
Look at them.
What? Which one? What I missed?
Omni?
They just banned like Omni and Evelyn.
Oh yeah.
Obnoxious offlane heroes.
Weren't you just like died and laughed? Like, what is going on so much?
Banning some Keza heroes? What's so funny about that?
We're just deep in thought.
He's like, there's a reason.
Those two are the disgusting NA heroes, you know.
Right. Just saying no secret, please.
Kezu's been playing a lot of both, and with CM Aura, they're both very strong.
This is true.
Bat Rider picked up, or rather, excuse me, banned away.
Yeah, that's actually one of General's best hero. I think we talked about this yesterday. Yeah. He didn't have very good showings yesterday in some of his games, but we were quite surprised that the team actually did not give him his best hero.
I think his Sanking and his Bat Rider are the best too. I wouldn't be surprised if they grabbed the Bat Rider or the Sanking right now for him.
Okay.
He's played some Darkseer as well in the past. They could do some like Darkseer Night Stalker duo. Those are like the big three for me for him, because he always seems to be able to bail his team out of like problems when he has those three big kind of like team fighters.
Yeah, but definitely with Night Stalker, Bat Rider would have been probably the best of all the few
Definitely.
mentioned.
So, just to clarify, Secret's first two picks are actually two of the heroes with the highest win rate so far in Epicenter.
Yeah, so they take the Sanking, kind of as expected for him. The Wombo combo as well with like the Warlock gives you tons of team fight with Fatal Bonds.
But do you think it's actually possible that they swap it around? They put him on the Night Stalker instead and Sanking on a support role?
I guess it's possible. I would probably prefer...
You prefer him on the Sanking?
I prefer him on the Sanking, yeah. I prefer him playing like that kind of like, just that straight up initiator. And Seneko, I mean Seneko's Night Stalker is, just Seneko playing those kind of roaming heroes is very strong for the team. That Space Maker.
Oh, that's the thing. I actually think he can actually do more on the Sanking.
You do think so? Okay.
Yeah, but it's quite difficult to say which is better. It's all about the preference of the team.
Well, you not say General can also do more in the Sanking compared to the Night Stalker? I feel like both players would rather be playing the...
Two Sankings.
Yeah. Sanking and Sanking.
But that does set the direction of the game right now for NaVi. They're going back for a very heavy team fight with a vision hero, which is always a good thing. You see the enemy first, then you get the jump, you get a better start of the fight. It's going to be up to the enemy to deal with it, whether they go for more heavy team fight or they try to split you around, move you around the map. But that's generally difficult against a vision hero. That's why you want to pair vision plus team fight.
Right, a combination of the two. Now another draft continues with another Lifestealer. Secret still, at least they're not showing much yet, are they?
Yeah, I think that's like the big telltale thing right there.
That's the reveal?
Very good versus like the magic damage from the Sanking, and good for like the lane. And he's a self-sustaining laner that they can leave him a bit.
He might have trouble.
He might have trouble though. Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna do well in the lane though, because I guess if you commit the Clockwork on a safe lane, then you need to use 3 heroes.
I think once you give him some help against the Sanking, he's fine to 1v1. He just needs that like level 1 assistance.
You say give him some help, but the Night Stalker could also help the Sanking at the start.
Whoa.
Oh, Slark Night Stalker. This is like a combo, vision combo.
Is this the first Slark?
It is.
Right? I don't think we've seen any of it at all.
But I think Slark is not very good in this patch because I feel like the hero needs to farm a lot in some way. Like even though you have like a very early timing with the Shadow Blade, but he's not that strong in the laning phase, and he really needs to farm a lot even after the quick Shadow Blade.
He can get punished so much, like if you run like some dual type of aggressive lane, but they maybe are kind of wanting that to be able to set up for the lifestealer.
That is a hero slug does not want to fight in the lane, boys.
Definitely not.
Oh, that hurt. That pick actually hurt.
Look at that face. Did you see that?
Oh
That
my
hurt Byron.
god.
Sorry.
That pick was like, oh, you want to play slug?
Good luck, my friend.
So
That
it's gonna
was
be
perfect.
so basically right now the Bristleback can do a lot of damage in the lane against a slug. They are gonna need. I mean, I'm not sure how much the Warlock can help him. I think Bristol can still do a lot of damage there with the CM aura, and the Clockwork can choose to focus on securing the Lifestealer's lane or the mid lane. So the lane situation right now for Secret looks much more flexible. Whereas NaVi have heroes that they really need to help out right now, which is the Slug, and maybe even the Sand King. Because Sand King, if you don't get a good start, you don't get the ball rolling in the lane, you might struggle with your dagger timing, and that's going to be really bad for Sand King. And you don't want him jungling from the start. That's usually a bad sign too. Oh
Do you think Secret still will probably ban out like Timbersaw or something? Because Dendy does play it, and it's pretty good versus Blissful, Clockwork, and Lifestealer.
Yeah.
I think it's still a possibility. NaVi bans out the Shadow Fiend since Mid-One's hero is still left open, and they don't want to deal with that Clockwork SF. Just puts too much pressure. Makes the Night Stalker's game a bit too difficult, having to pretty much go to all the lanes.
He still has a lot of heroes though, like a lot of heroes that he can play right now.
So NaVi are not being limited at this point. Excuse me.
I mean for Secret,
yeah.
Secret.
It still has Invoker, Ember, a lot of the other heroes.
Ember's banned first too.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I think he can even do like what no one did last game, can do the Bristleback mid if they want to switch up things. But right now, I would just want the Bristleback to go to the Slug's lane and make life hell for him.
Agreed.
Maybe a cheaper hero because they have Lifestealer and Bristleback, like a hero that can gank and like pressure. If they go for like a, say something like a OD, like another farmer, it will mean that they need to win all their lanes. Otherwise, there might not be enough space on the map for everyone to farm.
It always makes me happy when I see like the notes being rummaged through. I don't know. A little bit of a nerdgasm, yeah. Just someone pulls it out and starts flicking it.
What has he played recently? Let's
Yeah,
take a look at the book. All right, what do we got?
Storm ban.
They banned Storm.
Was that a likelihood?
Because they don't, I mean,
limited
maybe,
lockdown.
Okay.
Because they don't have really good, yeah, like Parker said, no good lockdown against Storm.
So you're saying like what, Invoker, Lina?
Perhaps even like a Puck could be something that doesn't take too much farm.
Puck could be okay.
Yeah, actually, I do like the Puck for the because they already have Bristle Lifesteal, but
Well, now you don't know who's going offlane or mid, you know?
that's probably Kazu or Shaker though,
probably
right?
Kazu.
Oh yeah, Casual, Shaker,
And then
so
Bristle mid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bristle.
that seems
Maybe
like
they
it's
were
more
watching
likely.
the VP game.
Yeah. You'll send the Shaker mid if you know he has a great matchup, but they won't know the matchup until Navi's last pick, and most likely you're looking at Dendy on something that is going to be a ranged
It's
hero.
a very good selection because things can still be swapped around. Even though they already picked 5 heroes, they are still very flexible around with that.
They also have like 3 melee already on the side of Navi.
Oh my god.
And
Do
it's
they
like,
Timbersaw there? Do you want to?
now I mean, maybe that's
Not
kind of
bad.
what they were maybe
Not bad.
expecting. They wanted that extra lockdown
But
with Earthshaker.
Timbersaw is not very good against Earthshaker's CM and Clockwork. They have like good tools at killing him. Like they have enough magic damage in between them. They have physical. They have disable. They can pick Timber, but I don't think it'll be like a free Timber game.
I think Navi are going to give it just a little second of thought. Probably not what. I mean, if we weren't expecting it, chances are neither were they. Even if they were rifling through the papers,
They go
it's
for
going to be like
Dragon Knight
DK.
themselves.
So
having some tower hitter, some
Tower
kind of
push.
yeah, I guess the Slack is really bad for objectives.
Yeah.
And DK gives them maybe an alternative by a Silver Edge deal with the Bristle, although Slack realistically is
Stark
going
as
to be
well.
buying that. So
I'm liking Secrets.
I mean, they have to win their lanes first. You know, the lane situation does not look good for Navi right now.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, there was doubt already pre-draft. We're just going to go ahead
I mean,
and...
they can win, but it's harder for them to win
Okay.
compared to what Secret needs to do in the game.
Yeah, so expectations for Secret to take this first game in the series. Just clarifying?
I'm going with Secret.
Yeah, I mean, you were just saying suspiciously quiet at the end there.
No.
One for Secret?
Yeah.
Secret as well.
Secret.
Yeah.
Okay. So Navi do seem to have the analyst desk not convinced. Maybe they can do it in game. But we get another Bristleback mid. Perhaps they thought, or mid one thought that, you know, if no one can do it, so can I. That sounds like an oxymoron. But let me introduce some morons of our own. The casters are ready.
Well, if we can't cast it, maybe Ben can. NaVi, this draft looks very odd. As odd as that introduction from me.
I think when NaVi...
very odd.
Oxymoron? Moron? That was
just
kind of smooth.
I missed the oxy. But yeah, this was like with the DK pickup, like you were itching for Timbersaw as well. Winter had a little of hesitation about the Timber pickup.
DK's pretty good. I like the first three though. I think the Warlock Sand King Night Stalker is something that suits their style more. And when they were doing decently, I don't want to say good because it's been a very long time since they were actually good, but when they were doing decently and kind of edging towards that T2 phase, they were picking heroes like these and more team fight oriented. And that's, go back to where you found some success if you are lost.
But it starts to beg the question too, like with the draft they've got up, like you've got this DK, this Slark. What's the point of it? It's a big criticism, which the panel was also bringing up of NaVi, where there seems to be like 2 or 3 different cooks in this kitchen. Like, so you play the vision game, but how are you meant to synergize to work as a team?
Vision, man.
That's it?
You have Night Stalker and Slark to give you vision around the map so that Sand King can jump and you can just annihilate people who are just slightly out of position. You also make it very difficult for the Clockwork to maneuver around. He feels scared. Lifestealer also feels threatened. He can die to a silence for the Night Stalker if you start it off, which is very likely in this scenario where nighttime from the darkness from Night Stalker as well as 2 Ultra Vision heroes are going to cause Secret a lot of problems. They have Rocket Flare, I suppose, for vision, but aside from that, they don't have too much to counter the vision from NaVi. But I think they have better lanes and overall slightly better heroes that can push, that are tankier. And recently, we've been seeing a lot of strength heroes. I think both this game and last game, we've had 7 of the 10 heroes being strength.
Yep. Especially in our last series, that was all strength. But this lineup, she's mid 1. Should actually note too that Team Secret did what we were talking about the other day. They swapped, so mid 1 is now actually on the Earthshaker. Now they probably did this as well, realizing that it's melee versus melee. Now last time we got to cast this matchup, it was Samael on the mid role as the Earthshaker up against Ember Spirit, and he didn't just crush, he slaughtered the mid lane. Up against the Dragon Knight, how do you think DK is going to fare?
You said against the Dragon Knight, how's the DK going to fare?
I mean, sorry, how's the ES going to fare?
I was thinking about a question. I was like, who am I talking about?
No, just brain lag.
I think ES is fine because he has a lot of plus damage, which counteracts the damage reduction from Breathe Fire. And he also has a Quelling Blade start. Dendi went for the poor man's shield, so he's going to have a lot of trouble when it comes to last hitting. Mid 1 going for the CS game, Dendi going for the harass game, but I think that Dendi is currently winning out right now. 4-0 on him versus the 2-1 from Madone.
Yeah, but this will start to change up, and you might also be another reason too why Puppey is doing what he's doing. He's just trying to stack and flash farm as the Crystal Maiden, get some early levels up into the Aura, and that was the other thing we were talking about where Samael didn't even have to go bottle on his Earthshaker just because he had that Arcane Aura giving him the advantage. But I'm wondering if the cost is too high for this. Like
this lane's awful.
But MP's having horrendous time on bottom.
Top lane's terrible for Slark, though, and Warlock. Warlock having to deal with Clockwork, miserable. Slark having to deal with Bristleback, also miserable. So this, this top lane is no bueno at all for Pycat. Hey, at least he has a stick already. That's good.
And then you're just happy to sack MP on the bottom lane against the SK?
Yeah, I think that's okay. Passable.
And Snakeo's really trying to get up in the face of mid 1 underneath the tower. Mid 1's going to burn his salve, and he is actually going to go for the bottle.
He needs the HP regen. The mana regen not really that necessary because of Arcane Aura. So
it was a different matchup before, right? Like this is the DK who's hitting you with Breathe Fire consistently as opposed to the Ember Spirit.
Well, he's out of mana on Dendi. He actually goes for the Magic Stick early, which is a very good solution to level 1 Enchant Totem. It costs 15 mana, or costs 20 mana, gives you 15 mana back. That's a net win for DK. But I think, as you mentioned, the biggest problem is the bottom lane. Oh, Pycat. Oof, that was close.
And Keizu survives there.
But he's not high enough level really yet to tank this lane. Still, the stats is nice. I actually think Slark's not that bad versus Bristle because he's a National Silver Edge carrier, and I think stealing a lot of Bristle stacks. 'Cause Bristle does not die quickly.
Yep.
He takes a lot of time, and I think that Slark thrives in this sort of situation where you can hit a hero over and over and over again. Abba, Omni, and the Bristleback, all Kesu heroes.
Issue is being able to properly achieve that when you get a Clockwork on the field as well. Clockwork can create a lot of space, and we're seeing YapzOr trying to be a bit of a pain in the butt to Biver, cut through the rear, and then try and cog so he hits both. Maybe not locking himself in with Pycat, that wasn't part of the plan, but Pycat burns his last bit of mana with the Battery Assault. Pycat's actually out too far. With no pounce available, he'll rely on the Shadow Word regeneration to stay alive. Where Keizu, the Quills, they started stacking up. Pycat went up to 3 on that. But it still wasn't enough to bring him down, but it does drag Seneko to the north.
It's almost nighttime. Seneko is level 2 and can start making things happen for them. However, this CMR is causing them a lot of issues. It's already level 3, so you see a lot of the lane pressure coming out. Mid one pretty much with near unlimited mana if he wants to spam enchant, and Bristleback also causing an issue, just constantly spraying Pycat with quill sprays, quill stacks.
They got to compete for this 4-minute rune on the top. Seneko's here just to stop mid one from grabbing it. And, well, with the help of Dendi, 4-minute rune doesn't actually come up on the north. It's an illusion down on the bottom, so they have to start retreating out mid one. Cops a breathe fire from Dendi. And he has no other choice but to send the bottle back to base.
Yep, just an illusion taken by General. No big deal for them. And yeah, mid one is very low. He does have an infused raindrop, but still 1 void plus 1 breathe fire could be enough to take him down. So he can't really farm at all, and looks like Dendi's still getting slightly the better of him in the mid lane.
Yeah.
We don't know if mid one has practiced his hero at all, too.
No.
I think the thing about Sunil, he's played it a decent amount, but for mid one,
Poppy just picks it and says, this is meant to win the lane. Win the lane. That's simple. Slark with a little bit of a leash up on top. Keizu doesn't really have a lot of mana to work with. He's only got 3 stick charges. So that's not really enough to fight with. YapzOr's trying to prepare himself for the mid lane. If Dendi dives this feeling the mid one is low, YapzOr can get in behind and just get that cog burn. The fissure helps them set up for it. So the Battery Assault and Dendi trapped in with mid one while being hit by the tier 1 tower. Dendi should fall here. YapzOr will claim the first blood. Seneko, it's a little bit too late. They do have another totem stop if they can keep the stuns going, but Seneko takes the trees. There goes your fissure. Cogs off cooldown in 1 second time, but they're underneath the tower, trapped inside the cogs, and YapzOr will tank it and Seneko will fall.
You question the synergy in between the clock, but it's working out quite well for them. DK struggles a lot versus Clockwork because he's not a natural 4-staff carrier, and Clockwork also does a lot of magic damage that DK struggles to mitigate.
What do you think about this type of build over on Keizu? Where the fact you've got a Crystal Maiden giving aura, but he also goes for a Soul Ring onto the Bristleback.
I think it's overkill, but you can also just get a Raindrop, but he clearly thinks Raindrop isn't enough, so going for the Magic Stick. The Magic Stick, or sorry, the Soul Ring does say that I think he's going to try and farm a lot though, as opposed to fight early on. But I think if you farm Ancient Stacks and other Kimps a lot, you will have mana issues. So that's where I can see the Soul Ring being useful.
Bottom lane, a lot of movements coming down towards MP. He's just about to hit, in fact, he just does hit level 6, so if he does level up the Infest, guaranteed kill on this will be difficult. They need to chain their stuns as well, so silence perfectly. Not the best chain, and can he Infest? Yes, he can. They had to get it absolutely perfect.
He should have Epicentered.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know if he had, oh, okay, yeah, he had a Soul Ring. He definitely had enough mana.
Yep. Seneko didn't actually have the silence. He went for the 2 points up in the void. Not an uncommon thing, but
yeah, the Epicenter definitely should have come out. Life Stealer is not an easy hero to kill.
And now MP gets his life back from both Infest as well as the South. And Dendi, unsuccessful rotation. Mid one enjoyed that time. He had a double damage room with the catapult, beating into that mid tower. In fact, he's not really done yet.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Normally with the DK, he's the one that's meant to be chipping away at the tier 1 tower, but they've lost over half the life in that mid tier 1. And the catapult's still going. They haven't brought it down yet.
Yeah, that's devastating. Having your tower at like 400 HP.
Yeah, I'll take that holla dollar.
What I miss.
If I had $1 for every time It's a Disaster was played, I don't think I can I don't know if I can play that globally myself. I think that would actually be a little bit rude. Dendi, Fissure, Echo, Frostbite, perfect control. And a very simple execution there for Team Secret. We've seen Epicenter be like such an amazing ability. Echo Slam.
Yeah, I was like,
such
what?
an amazing ability during Epicenter.
So smooth.
The different Epis. Pycat's again going to try to have a crack at Khezu, but Pycat, because he keeps attacking into the back, the Quill Spray stacks go through the roof, and he's not even level 6 yet. He still relies on the Shadow Word. As his Creep Wave's going to die under the tower, he's going to get to level 6, but Yapsor's here too. Level 5, Puppey, mid one's come in. He's got enough money for his Blink Dagger, but he hasn't purchased it yet. So the Clockwork Rocket, it reveals him. It sees absolutely everything. Mid one, the Fissure, it connects onto the Warlock. Yapsor just keeps going. He can Battery Assault and hold the Warlock in the tree line, while Khezu continues to beat into the tier 1 tower. The Nova gives them the vision onto Pycat. They know there's no real reason to go on him, not while Shadow Dance is available.
Their game plan attack with the Slark is working exceedingly well, and pressuring him at the get-go with the Bristleback and the Clockwork Ender, making this lane suffer immense amounts of pain. Slark and Warlock have barely anything on this top lane. They're going to sack their tower. Warlock can't pull. He is getting okay experience, but it's at the cost of Pycat. So much for your early dreams of Silver Edge.
Yeah. As Winter was saying, this here, it just takes a little bit too long to farm up. Even if you do get that Silver Edge, it still takes you time. But with the clock being slowed so much, it's becoming almost impossible. And Pycat's having to jungle now. So mid one and Khezu. Like the top tower is gone. Khezu will be able to take that one. Mid one has his Blink Dagger. And you know, in 36 seconds, mid one's going to kill somebody else. Because Echo Slam will come off cooldown. And then it's murder.
They need to get 6 on the Night Stalker. They need Darkness to buy them some more time. Or buy them some space away from this Earthshaker, who is dominating the map right now and has a ton of tower damage. That's not a hero that you expect to see a lot of tower damage on.
That's a fantastic Observer Ward. Just northwest of the Shrine. Sees General perfectly. They know there's some kind of gank being prepared.
And they see us blink. That's why you gotta smoke.
Yep.
Well, not, yeah.
So big reveal, and this gives MP more freedom on the bottom lane. Because he can come closer towards Seneko, and in fact, it looks like that's exactly what mid one's thinking too. I said when the Echo Slam came off cooldown, he'd look for a kill. He now has a Haste Rune. Fissure to start with, Blink up, follow up Totem, and Open Wounds will slow down Seneko more than enough to get the kill. And then you do not have to commit your big ultimate, and what a nice guy. Mid one ensures that MP gets the last hit by just running away at the end. All about getting the armlet up and running.
He was silenced. He didn't need to tank up extra hits at the tower. It's inefficient for him. Well, Pycat and the rest of NaVi itching to get a kill on the board. 4,000 gold lead for Secret as 2 towers have already fallen. Now, how are they going to stop this Bristleback, who has had very little contest in the top lane? More importantly, how are they going to stop this Shaker?
Not certain. How do you stop both at the same time?
Well, maybe Epicenter into Rock is the way to do it.
The double scans come out. Both sides don't hit anything. They're probably still wondering what Puppey's doing, but Puppey's really happy with this. This slow-paced game, just able to continuously farm himself up.
Well, they have an Infest Bomb inside of Yapsor. 2 smokes ready on Puppey.
Delivery system is here.
Who cares about nighttime? Let's go.
Who cares about mid one? They didn't catch him in the smoke. He's the only one not caught inside of this. But who do you go on? Seneko revealed himself on the bottom lane for a little bit. Pycat, Biva, and Dendi are all moving down to the bottom lane, so it looks like Khezu is going to become the bait. Seneko running over. He doesn't have an Observer Ward, but he's going to walk up the hill, puts down a sentry, and they don't see anybody else in close. Oh, quick hook shot. The Fissure is nice, but the Infest pop bomb is not enough. Seneko, no! He didn't get up the hill in time. He will still be able to reach the Shrine, which is triggered off by Dendi.
They're very scared of Sand King, but Sand King's actually up on the top lane. They ping him out, realizing they could have gone right there, but they were scared of the Fatal Bonds Warlock ultimate into Epicenter combo, which could have devastated them at this point, where they still have a solid enough lead that they did not need to go for such a risky play.
But they're going to fight bottom lane. Nice room for Denny to have before he's going to trigger Dragon Form. Actually, he triggered the Arcane Rune after Dragon Form. General gonna let the Epicenter go. Pyro Strike 4, Bristleback taking most of the damage, and then in comes your Echo Slam with the fissure. No, it was already thrown out. It was the initial stun. Keizu so low on life. Puppey creates a little bit of space, but they've lost the Life Stealer. They've lost the Bristleback. SK was the cost, but Puppey falling as well. 3 heroes down for Team Secret. Not the fight they wanted to have.
Lifestealer popped Rage so late that fight. Like, he was stunned for a bit, but then he turned on the Sand King, still not using his Rage, and took way too much damage despite having his armlet on.
Is NaVi forcing this issue too far now? They don't have the Golem. Yapsaw, mid one, can blink, gets the Fissure line. TP support's coming in. It's Warlock who got caught by the backline stun. So while Clockwork will fall, the rest of Team Secret are on their way. Bivol will go down, but the 2 TPs out. Successful for NaVi. The bottom tower also being brought down by the creep wave, so being brought down by Bristleback, so it was denied up by Team Secret.
Ideally, Secret gets this tower out of this to stunt Navi's growth. They did TP out, but they didn't actually TP out back to base. I believe they TP'd back to top shrine and realized that it wasn't up, just proceeded to farm neutrals. So they get the tower in response. Looks like Halberd will be coming out very early on from the Lifestealer, not worrying about the damage. Pretty good versus Slark, decent versus DK. However, he will be lacking on damage. He already lacks on damage versus a tanky hero like the Dragon Knight, and he has a hard time hitting the Slark. So looking to just be more utility and rely on Earthshaker and Bristle for damage. For the deeps.
Mr. Haste Rune or Miss Haste Rune Crystal Maiden. Yamsoul's looking for the line to hook, but he got his own creep wave. A little too far to the right. His target was definitely Dendy.
That creep was not his friend, Toby.
All of them weren't. He hit the middle of the creep wave. Literally smack, bang, plumb in the middle.
Well, his camera was probably in the wrong place because his spell spans multiple screens. It's a very common error for these very long-range spells. I guess that's actually the only one that you see. Hook, like Punch Hook is only like one screen.
Clockwork Hook.
It's mostly just... Oh, arrow happens too.
Marana Arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Those two spells you'll see sometimes. There'll be a creep right next to them. You're like, wow, why did you not see that? Because he was looking somewhere else. He was looking at the target that he was trying to hit. Supposedly. Theoretically, that's what happened. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we'll just say, didn't see it, it happened, move on. And Team Secret have done that. They're continuously farming up. Keizu now actually has completed up a Hood of Defiance to go with his Vanguard. Clockwork is approaching his Blade Mail.
Slark's loving this time off, though. After winning that fight on bottom, NaVi have had a good amount of time to just my blade, and
my blade, and Naga. You got to remember what Slark really yearns for.
He yearns for himself?
No, he learned Naga.
But you said
MP,
me.
Rage, Lifestealer needs to get this off, but the silence is lasting so damn long, and he gets back behind the tower, has to Rage to actually help dispel. Had Shadow Word on him. SK committed so heavily for that, but again, issues with killing off a Lifestealer result in NaVi losing out with the initiation.
Well, Pycat wasn't there at all. So he's going to be very close to a Shadow Blade, and he is going for a first item, Silver Edge.
Looks like Secret are going to try and force this. Their tier 2 tower is going to come under siege in a little bit, but they're making the most out of Keizu and keeping that catapult in the mid lane alive.
Yeah, Keizu just went full tank with the Vanguard in the
actually
hood.
going to Infest Bomb. The Earthshaker's coming up. Now he's going to see Dendy. It's that Invis rune that sees all. Warlock or Dendy. Warlock has the Golem, so they start over on Dendy. Biver drops down the rock. Should be able to hit 4 with the Fatal Bonds. Actually only at the level 2. The Dragon Knight already down. The Golem to fall as well. Man, that thing does not last long.
Not a clean initiation by mid one there. He misses Enchant, and that allowed Dragon Knight to get a few of his spells off.
Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world because he burned his Dragon Form.
Yeah, you don't want to take extra damage, though, because you want the siege to go on as long as possible, and that little bit of damage adds up. 5-man Fatal Bonds and into a few Breathe Fire. Yeah, you have earned for one person, but everyone else, they aren't going to be so fortunate. Still, they will beat on this T3 tower without the aid of Dondo to defend high ground, and 17 minutes in.
Without the rock, without the nighttime, yeah, NaVi really do not want to be fighting here, and that's why General continuously pushed out the bottom lane. Pycat again just pisses off and goes towards the top lane. And they are going to back out a little bit.
This
so
is the right thing for
Puppey
Slark to
returns
do.
home.
Slark should focus on his own game. He needs Shadow Blade and more items to be able to do stuff. And from those fights, it would have mattered. Like, maybe he could have scouted out the gate and prevented Dendy's death, but he's going to sacrifice a lot of his net worth, and the tower still would have fallen at the end. So that's, I think it's way more important that he just AFK's farm at this point while he is still super, super weak. He's a little fishy.
He's not a big fish yet.
Nope.
Not a shark to throw a rock at.
He is not. His blade is but a wee dagger.
Maybe this will help. Double damage rune in the bottom river. Not scouted by Team Secret. They have no vision on this area of the map.
Ideally, he gets a big pick on a hero like Earthshaker. That is the dream.
Well, he might actually get a smoke break. Puppey just had one flown out to him, and Yapsaw, a quick rocket. They are ready for an infest bomb, and Pycat with a double damage rune is ready to fight. But mid one will also arrive. So Yapsaw, he hooks, hits Dendy. They need that jump to come nice and quick while the creep wave is still up, or maybe not. Dendy Dragon form, he's losing his mana. General preps the epicenter, in they come with the upheaval. It'll be difficult for Secret to walk away. At the same time, Pycat arrives, still with the end of that double damage rune to go to work. Snipes out Puppey, the Crystal Maiden. And then they disengage, but again, rock being thrown down for... Is it enough of a reward every time that rock falls?
When you're behind like this, yes. I think it's important that they at least get... I think it's more so the rock and the epicenter and the dragon form. They were all committed for that fight.
Yeah.
And they only got the Crystal Maiden. Yeah, I think you're right. It was not worth it after some reconsideration.
At the same time, I was expecting Team Secret just to blow Dendy up, and that didn't happen. Mid one was too far away to jump in and let the Echo Slam go.
Yeah, they need the Fissure to also deal with the Warlock. I also think that's one big benefit of Earthshaker is that long reach to stop with the upheaval, because that upheaval is generally very hard to stop, especially after Clockwork has committed his spells.
But in that case, when you structure the team fight, you're saying the Earthshaker will have to go in as the second wave. Blink in, Fissure, as opposed to being what we've seen him with the Echo Slam.
Usually you can just hit the Fissure on the Warlock. That's what you do. You normally start with Blink Echo, and then you can hit an enchant, and then you look around for a hero that you want to Fissure, and then you Fissure in that direction. Alternatively, you can like Fissure to block their melee heroes off, but ideally you hit the Sand King so he can't Epicenter, you hit the Warlock so he doesn't get a good combination off after your main hero gets jumped. So...
Oh. Roshan now in favor of Team Secret. Aegis symbol into the hands of the Life Stealer.
That was easy.
Gonna give, yeah, there's no contest at all.
They have a lot of mid-game items. We see the drums already out on puppies. We see the pipe and the Vanguard. And on top of that, we see the halberd. Yeah, so they have all these mid-game items. And NaVi,
Snako, you're out way too far. The Fissure will hold him right in position. And Puppey takes the kill secure. Oh, yeah, Yapsaw, the creep wave was there. Third time lucky. Third time lucky for Yapsaw. If that creep wave wasn't there, he would have connected.
B1 with the creeps, man. Where would you be if you were a creep?
Well, let me guess. I spawn at the 1 minute mark and I move forward.
They have varying move speeds though, Toby.
Dragon Tail stun. Bristle back, connected to the creeps around him, which have now all gone. 17 one charges available for Kezu, so he can tank through this for a while. General gonna try and help out the Epicenter. They're really just lacquering it on, but still they don't have the kill. The rock will fall. A little bit of space being created, but Dendy can't escape. Puppey lets the Crystal Nova go down. General, all of the help he tried to commit, achieves little to nothing. The only thing NaVi get on the map is the kill with Pycat and Snako teaming up to find the Clockwork.
Pycat got a lot of damage on the bottom tower. Now he has the Silver Edge completed. So the game has, yeah, they're not dealing with the Bristleback, but maybe with the Silver Edge, now they can.
Pycat's going to have to be such a hero, though, to do it.
Well, he has Rock to back him up. He has Epicenter to back up. There's no PKBs on the Secret side. They have the pipe to mitigate a lot of the damage, so they need physical damage output. And who gives physical damage output? Slark right now. Maybe DK a little bit later, but right now he's just absorbing most of the damage. And it looks like they might be going for 2 Silver Edges. I see the remnants of a Shadow Blade being built in the quick buy of Dragon Knight.
Yeah, maybe they do. I'm still wondering if they could all come together on the same page, because as you said, like Pycat's off doing his own little thing, farming up to his critical items. But synergize the Rock, to synergize the Epicenter with Pycat's initiation. Like, he has to start the Bristleback. If that Silver Edge doesn't connect, then it's not going to work. And he actually... Okay, so he is going to be building a BKB as well as Echo Saber as his next ones. Nothing too unusual there. So here's just start. Silver Edge to break on the Bristleback. Support's coming in as the Earthshaker TP to the Tier 2 tower. He needs to get there really, really quick. And, well, Yule Scepter. They'll pick up Seneko. So Silver Edge goes to work. You definitely see Keizu taking damage, but Seneko as support is just not enough. He has to juke it around the tree lines 1 second until he can fly up and towards the air. And there he goes. Puppy's Nova should be able to reveal. Actually, no, they didn't have the Nova. So he'll TP out in the tree line, and NaVi will not lose anything. Yeah, and they pan each other on the back here with a great applause.
They're finding some signs of life, though. This is good for them. They made the Bristle look very, very squishy. That hero, without its Bristleback, is extremely susceptible to burst. The problem right now is that that was in an isolated situation without the clock and without the shaker. Both of these heroes can't interrupt the burst, at least until the point where Keizu can regain the passive of his Bristleback. So they need BKBs, so they don't have to worry about these two initiators counter-initiating or initiating on them.
That's going to take some time. Now Team Secret going to smoke up. Well, if NaVi are the initiators, then yeah, you have to think about your counter-initiation. But when the smoke breaks, they understand the Biver is right next to the Ancients. He'll Fatal Bond up to the Ancients, so they won't be farming those anytime soon. But a kill is a kill. Dandy, little trouble for him, hiding under the cover of the Shadow Amulet. They know exactly where he is. The question is, who has detection? Oh, okay, just hookshot in and drop 3 Sentry Wards to kill off Dandy. He's trying to armlet toggle his way through, but it ain't going to happen. Little bit of overkill, dropping 300 gold to get the kill on the Dragon Knight.
Better overcommit than undercommit. They went in, Toby. They went in. That's what matters.
And they're going to go for the Tier 3 tower now.
This is bad. You need your Dragon Knight for this. Slark is not ready. Yeah, you can get this T2, but losing your T3 is very, very problematic.
And what do you want to do? You want to really come into this choke point? This plays into the hands of mid one. That level 2 Echo Slam is just waiting for a target. In general, Epicenter is up, Rock is up as well. Biv is going to start with the upheaval. Try to slow down Team Secret. If you wait another 6 seconds, however, Keizu will be able to go back in. And this time NaVi is here as a full squad. There's no split push shenanigans. And looks like Team Secret will back out with the expiry of the Aegis.
You're an expiry guy versus expiration? English is tough. 2 words mean exactly the same thing. You confuse me.
If you like, I can put an R on the end of it just to confuse everybody.
You already do.
Do I? Don't hear it.
You're used to it. I'm used to it too, I suppose.
MP, NaVi is stalking. They're hunting. They go inside the pit. The Burrow Strike Clockwork did get the cogs up the fissure. Creates a little bit of space. Meanwhile, MP battling against both Dendi as well as the Slark. But he stands his ground. And with the extra help coming in from Keizu, NaVi may just have to disengage from this fight. They still have Warlock Rock up. That's why they'll feel confident to stay there and fight. But the stacks from Bristleback were starting to accrue.
Well, same for Pycat. He had 4 Essence Shift stacks that fight, and this could be quite nice for him if he doesn't die in the initial Echo Slam burst. I still do see a potential route for NaVi to come back.
Yeah. There's definitely something there. You kind of just wonder, though, if Team Secret are going to give them the opportunity.
I would say that it's hard not to. Like, it's very hard to burst down a Slark, especially with this
life. So 1-for-1 trade-off is beyond bait. Beyond bait. It's got 15 hunting for more Virtus Pro. He knows, and Exorcist is waiting in the tree lines to spare him. Instead, it's Seneko getting caught out. Tries to take flight, but the Suns hold him in position. He'll hit the ground. And unlike a cat, he will hit only 2 legs and have the other 2 snapped off. Oh, hello. Pyke got it. Worth it. Money worth it.
They need a gem on him. It's very important to have the gem so they can find the Earthshaker early on. If they kill the Shaker early on, I actually do not think they can kill the Slark, and Slark will kill everyone in the fight. So they need better reveal for him if they can, and I don't think there's a better way than the gem on Slark.
I don't know if there's anyone you really believe, because the second you see the gem, I'm fairly certain the Earthshaker is just going to blink and blow up the person who has the gem.
It's hard to blow up a Slark, though. That's the thing. You have to combo him perfectly. You have to not get counter-stunned.
For now,
I think with BKBs it is, but Earthshaker doesn't have a BKB. There's no guarantee that you're going to keep him stun locked before he presses his Shadow Dance button. It's dangerous.
Team Seeker is coming again for the mid push. Maybe feeling a little bit wary. That bottom tier 2 tower is down to 90 HP. So it's not the dream for that, but the armor on the Bristleback is looking a lot better. Now he's got the casual plate mail. It's actually coming out in the courier, so it's the Perseverance also on the way. But Roshan could spawn up at any moment now. We're about to get the timer. The players will not know it's almost a max spawn time, however. Fortification triggered for the bottom lane, mid one. Pycat just actually used his Dark Pact, but under the cover of the Silver Edge, he doesn't have detection of his own. They drop an extra sentry. They saw mid one come out. Now mid one, if he walks in range of the sentry, okay, it won't matter. They're out of range. They don't have vision themselves. Now mid one sees all three of them running and wonders himself if this was really a good idea.
That was very dangerous. They could have straight killed him in a Sand King stun. But Sand King being very patient, staying on the bottom side.
Slark's on the hunt again. Sentry ward for the Radiant side. Won't see anything because, again, there's no obs with it.
He's so close to his BKB. Okay, he has BKB. Maybe he can take the risk now.
Oh, here comes Kezu. Sees the Slark pounce away. NaVi are a full team here, so a Team Secret.
He can wrap around the back, though. I think with BKB, there's very little risk that he dies
potentially
early on in the fight.
That observe wall they planted down before is going to give them really good vision for this fight, except Yapsor initiates in, isolating Dendi on the back lines. The rock will fall. It only actually catches the Earthshaker. Defensively, Yorsip up while MP pops out of his chest, just like Alien. A good fissure, stopping Warlock. No upheaval control anymore, and Puppey from the low ground, just letting that freezing field go. It's not really doing enough. It slows down the rock, but as Pycat on the run, Shadow Dance being committed. He has no mana to speak of. Dendi will successfully TP out, but the big man Pycat will fall. And with no buyback for 50 seconds, Team Secret more than likely will think about Roshan, but it's max spawn time for him. In fact, yeah, they're all TPing up there, but they'll have to wait. Pycat will respawn by the time Roshan is up.
Such a great team fight coming up from Secret. Yapsor with the uphill hook shot onto the Warlock, take him out of the fight. And then the loaded orb onto the Earthshaker, it casts a Burrow Strike, so Earthshaker actually got pushed forward by that. So that pushed him out of the raids, the Slark with the BKB, and that saved the fight for Secret.
And big advantage now to be had by Team Secret. The experience graph will continue spiraling upwards, and while NaVi did manage to almost flatline it, a little bit of a wavy flatline, but close to a flatline as you can get for the gold gain.
Wavy flatline.
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself, Toby?
It's a thing, all right? I don't know exactly the best way to describe that. Hook shot up, and Warlock trapped out this fight. The perfect initiation in as well from the Earthshaker. So on two different fronts, Team Secret will fight this, and maybe there was two fronts too many. Pycat able to get inside the Shadow Dance. They bring down the Earthshaker, but now Dendi trapped outside the base. 15 one-charges. General's going to bring in the Epicenter. Needs good damage. It's a nice Burrow Strike in the back lines, catching the Crystal Maiden. One charge will give them the life to fight this, but again, they broke the Bristleback. He has to be freed. The Lotus Orb trying to protect him for the moment, while Puppey, he'll create a perimeter of his own. A quick blink up. General not taking damage from the Bristle, so he's able to use that Blink Dagger, but in they come again. Everyone from Team Secret, they fatally bonded together, but they will work as a team to bring down Pycat.
What was Pycat doing there?
He
walked back into the freezing field and then got isolated 1v4.
Yes.
Maybe he's like, oh my god, I have stacks, guys.
Just like the wavy flatline is a thing.
I think he just proved my point.
Maybe.
That was dubious. Well,
here's your push into the mid. The top lane was already pressured as well, but Chaotic Offering just comes off cooldown. He's already used his Fatal Bonds, General. That's a long way in. That's one way to get the Lifestealer in closer. Late Lotus Orb pushing onto the tier 4 towers. Maybe not exactly what you want to do. General is down. Here comes your hookshot. It's creating space for MP, but the rock will fall down as well. There's no Fatal Bonds. It was on cooldown for 5 seconds time, but you did get the stun in, which brought down Lifestealer. And the tier 3 tower takes its turn. And that means you open up the shrines.
And open up Roshan. However, the Lifestealer is dead.
Yeah, makes it hard.
Ooh,
Kezu gets a perfect regeneration rune.
I'm surprised Earthshaker doesn't go for BKB. Ghost Scepter. I guess it depends on who you think is going on him. I guess BKB is also still very good versus a Slark, so you can't get leash in place. But Pyket has not been able to do that much work with his first 2 BKB charges. Those are the big ones, a 10-second and a 9-second one.
And life's going to get harder for him. Clockwork just finished up the second halberd for the team, I believe. So they got one on both MP, and now there's one on Yapzor, and Yapzor will always be in range. Hooking in nice and deep.
That sounded wrong.
It's not wrong.
Well,
don't you purge this moment.
The wavy flatline has now ascended towards 10,000 net worth lead.
It has. You could say it was a steep hill. Roshan is starting to fall very, very quickly. And with the death of General, Mid-1 was able to find him. Now, Echo Slam was committed for that kill.
You don't fight without your Epicenter, though. There's no way you win the fight without it.
Now you're doing it.
What?
Oh, you mean the Epicenter? Or that? Okay.
I was actually talking about Epicenter.
I thought you mean like, don't fight without your Echo Slam. Don't mean to be contagious.
For a wavy flatline, if someone's like dying in their heart rate monitor, is that a wavy flatline?
I would say so, but that one will be that'll be a blip line, wouldn't it?
Blip line?
Yeah.
These lines are foreign to me.
Mid-1, he found the target. Sentry's down, a quick little pop-up. Mid-1, the fissure, it connects, so does the hook shot, and they trap him in another Sentry ward. Pycat will trigger the BKB. He doesn't really want to keep hitting Yapzor. He wants to try and get out of these bloody cogs. And here comes Mid-1. TP support is on the way. He's hiding inside the Silver Red, the Shadow Blade for the moment. With the gem, there's nowhere Pycat can hide, so they stomp him down, punch him up, but the Burrow Strike from General. Space is being created. Biffa, still no ultimate. He can at least connect them with Fatal Bonds, but it won't matter if Pycat's not there to do any kind of damage. And Poppy, like a real Crystal Maiden, lets the entire thing go. Epicenter, they're going in. That is a gem. They got the gem stolen. It's in the hands of Seneko now. Lost.
Do you see how
a very dead Earthshaker.
Yapzor controlled Pycat so amazingly well that fight. Like, even during the BKB, he had the Blade Mail. After the BKB, he disarmed him. He just made it look so easy. Like, Clockwork is, like, he doesn't have a 4-stab. He doesn't have a blink. He chased down this super mobile Slark. Oh, they got the 8 of his team.
The Puppy, move to the side. Move to the side. He's waiting. Frostbite. Yapzor has the hookshot available. And here he goes. Puppy moves up. The cogs traps Seneko in. And you're locked in here with Yapzor. And Gem is now recovered.
Nice rocket flare from him. Yapzor has, I think, been the standout player for Secret in this tournament so far. In Epicenter.
Oh, I wish we had a face cam for Ben during that. The smug look of a Muppet. All right. Top lane maneuver. Slark already opens up over on the lifesteal. Just breaks him up a little bit. With the Aegis Immortal, there's not a lot he's really achieving from this apart from just saying hello.
It's really hard without the Echo to get a lot of stacks off. I realized that in that particular instance, like, he doesn't have Echo. And he only got 3 stacks with that. Normally you get a lot more, and you would threaten the Lifestealer to use more cooldowns.
But he had to go the Silver Edge as his first item after the BKB. Or vice versa.
You could have not gone for BKB.
Could have.
I think Slark can get away with it. He did need the Echo. He hasn't been having enough damage. That's the thing about building BKB. What if you don't have enough damage? Then by the time you get damage, you'll have like 5-second BKB.
Oh, Pycat knows he's visible. The gem is back on top of Mid-1.
It's okay.
It was the Observer Ward that was slowing him down. That's why he knew he was visible. And now Mid-1 can also see the dire Observer Ward. They'll give it to Kezu. Meanwhile, MP solo takes a shrine.
Easy shrine.
This does seem like one of those games now where Secret, they just go through the motions and don't screw up.
They're very good at that, actually.
Oh, nice fissure.
I think.
You also have to follow up. This will get Puppy in range, so he can go for the Frostbite. They don't have another fissure, so Biva will be able to get this upheaval off for a long duration. Kezu, you can see him wanting to move forward. An upheaval has to be cancelled by Biva and back up.
25-second cooldown on that. Time to go.
Yep. Rock is still up, so is Fatal Bond, so Team Secret could be careful by getting a little too close. But then again, the damage speed, they pump out into the tier 3 tower, NaVi. By the time they really react to this, there's nothing more to be had. Now the Fatal Bonds connects over on 3. So MP, all this damage is being split now between out Yapsor as well as Kezu. And he stands his ground. The BKB from DK, the upheaval. MP just wants to run away. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal, and they've got the Echo Slam still itching from mid one. But NaVi, they grouped up for half a second, which made it look like that may be the opportunity, but they want Pycat. That's who mid one's really waiting for. Play the back line, let MP and Kezu do the front line work. The melee racks will be brought down by the Lifestealer. And here's your hook shot. They actually isolated the rock. Or will they? No, it comes down in time. Biba, forced up back. Really does feel that way.
Well, NaVi still yet to claim a game in this tournament. This game, I would say, looked actually fairly okay for them.
It's a fight time. General has the Aghanim Scepter. He wants the perfect line stun. MP's going to come in.
Dude, these halberds are obnoxious. BKB on DK was used right after the halberd, and he was useless.
Oh, the Burrow Strike is nice with the Lifestealer as well as Crystal Maiden, but doesn't even matter. Mid one's controlling General outside the base. Maybe if they can kill off Kezu, but he has cheese. He's just able to pop that, get all of his life back again. So while General's playing around with one, is Secret, who are playing around with the slipperiest little fish of all. Pycat runs past the edges, even aggroes them, and Team Secret know they want to win this game. They just go down through mid. Or they can continue to chase Pycat, which looks to be what they're doing. Okay, the line is drawn. The line is drawn from Lifestealer. Let's go through bottom lane and end this.
Pycat might get a
He's got
here.
37 essence shifted. He can fight MP pretty damn well until he gets disarmed. And then stunned.
Baited.
And then watched. And then killed. And that is a good meal for Secret.
That's when he GG out.
Pycat dead for a minute.
They got put. Slug just got outplayed so many times. These halberds though are just game winning though. They've limited so much of the damage output. I think Slark's done a lot of damage this game, but imagine how much damage he could have done if he didn't get disarmed at every turn and didn't have to pop BKB super early. And you're right, yeah, he probably had to get BKB before an Echo because of these halberds. Like, halberds are just insanely good versus these heroes that don't do anything when they're disarmed. There's some heroes that can, like, let's say Bristleback, like if he gets disarmed, that's fine.
Yeah, because he just keeps cool spraying.
Yeah, and then Earthshaker, if he gets disarmed, whatever, no big deal. He can still stun lock people for a lot of time. Lifestealer, not so useful, but he doesn't have to BKB. He has a much more expendable cooldown in the Rage. But now it's going to take a miracle of a team fight for NaVi. They're going to have to hit a Wombo combo to end all Wombo combos.
I like how mid one's even playing this. He's keeping the BKB in his backpack because he wants the movement speed that comes in from the face boots. I don't know if he really needs to do that when he's switching the TP and the bottle around. That's the other thing, he's moving up and down. But he just found himself an arcane rune on the Earthshaker. Are they actually really waiting for the next Roshan?
It looks like it.
That's a lot of safety. But safety first is never a bad thing. Multiple layers of protection.
you could get into that snowballing situation where Stark has like 70 essence shift stacks and then just ends the game, which has happened before.
Oh,
Faceless has done it.
Who's got the gem? It's still over on mid one. Pycat is not close enough just yet.
I just don't think he's going to be able to get that many
We just
stacks,
had a farming in front of Yapsor. Yapsor actually sheavers and goes towards the top lane. No TP down, not for Seneko. So you can say goodbye to Night Stalker, also dead with no buyback available. And they're coming. They're coming for the end. Screw Roshan. He's still got another 25 seconds before he's up.
Dude, my MVP for this game is Yapsor for sure. He like ruined Dendy's early game a couple of times. He found the Warlock almost every single time in the team fight. And he also controlled Stark in the late game, where it's fairly difficult to control him when you don't have that many items. But he made this look easy. He's actually fairly close to Stark in terms of net worth, I suppose. But yeah, Navi, they don't really have much fight left.
Hook shots up again. Kezu's blocking his line towards Biva. Dendy trying to initiate down towards MP, but they're just waiting and trying to man mode it. The Abyssal Blade used over on the Slark. They've almost got him down with a Frostbite. They actually had enough control to kill him. And Puppy let it go on top of Dendy, his former teammate. Maybe with a Burrow Strike and Epicenter from General. No, Puppy under the protection of his own PKB just kills him off. And that is the game, at least game one. But it ain't over yet for Navi. It might actually be over as far as this series, as far as the tournament goes. But Team Secret have one more game to try and take off them in this best of three.
Navi can still win out in the series. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's a very rough road. Because if they lose this, they go 0-3.